Welcome back everyone to TTS Daily. I'm Yi right here. So yesterday we posted about the third person alleged account of Barbie Su's big ass untimely passing in detailed account. And as of now, there are two separate detailed alleged accounts of what actually happened to Barbie Su that led to her passing away from pneumonia, okay? This second account that I'm gonna share with you all is the most trending post on Weibo currently on why Barbie Su passed away, okay? This is vastly different from the first alleged third-person account that we have yesterday. So, we don't know which is the real private details, but we're just sharing because Barbie Su was a prominent Taiwanese actress famous for her breakout role in 2001 Meteor Garden. And we all adore and love her, and we just want to know how can we also protect our loved one from such untimely passing due to influenza and leading to pneumonia. Okay, so this alleged account, another second alleged account, claims that Barbie Su, also known as Big S, arrived at Tokyo Haneda Airport on January 29, 2025. Upon arrival around 3 p.m, the tour guide already noticed something unusual about her. She was wearing a mask and her cheeks were very flushed despite sunglasses. She might have been unwell at this point. And then on January 30th, despite having a low-grade fever of 38 degrees, that's actually high fever to me, okay? Barbie Su still planned to experience the outdoor onsen, also known as Wenquan, the hot springs, okay? And it is commonly known that if you're having flu, fever or cold, you should not go into the hot springs, the onsen, because the combination of hot steam from the springs and the cold winter air will worsen her condition, particularly her cough. Friends even suggested cancelling plans to see a doctor, indicating her condition was worsening. This is very different from the account that we have that she stayed in her hotel on the 30th and 31st before going for her first hospital visit on the 31st when her condition worsened. So we're just sharing the accounts from two really sets of different events and sequences. Okay, so the next day on the 31st, on 2:17 a.m, an ambulance was called for Barbie Su due to a sudden worsening of her condition. The ER records show her blood oxygen level and blood pressure had dropped to critical levels 89%. And a clear moist rile was detected in her lung, indicating fluid accumulation, which is typical in severe respiratory infections. After receiving a fever-reducing shot, she insisted on returning to her hotel, ryokan, instead of staying for hospital observation, potentially missing critical medical intervention. Once again, this account right here is very different from the one that's also shared by many outlets yesterday, which claims that she wasn't given an option to stay in the hospital. But apparently, this account says no, okay? Next on February 1st, 2025, at 10 in the morning, 10 a.m, medical professionals recommended transferring her to a comprehensive hotel in Tokyo, but she declined due to pre-booked return plane tickets. This decision might have been pivotal in the progression of her illness. Later that afternoon, during the trip back, Barbie Su, Big S, suddenly stopped breathing. Immediate CPR was performed and she was rushed to a nearby clinic. A CT scan revealed white lungs, which is indicative of an extreme form of pneumonia. Once again, to recollect back the alleged set of accounts yesterday, it said that she was only diagnosed with influenza at the third hospital visit. This is okay, so two very vastly different set of accounts. Which is real, we do not know. These are all private details that the family should have access to, but this is what I'm reciting right now. It is the current most trending account details of what happened during Barbie Su's illness. And eventually on February 2nd, 2025 in the early morning at 4:05 a.m, after 14 hours of emergency intervention, she was declared beyond rescue. The autopsy report revealed that the cause was an influenza A infection that had penetrated her respiratory tract. The steam inhalation at the hot springs likely exacerbated her condition by causing swelling in her airway, leading to acute respiratory failure and multiple organ dysfunction. Two vastly different set of accounts. The first one yesterday that we shared, it seems that we were thinking, could her untimely passing also be prevented in this set of accounts through different actions? And netizens now are up in roar because some are claiming that Barbie Su's younger sister, Ji Su, knew that her sister was unwell but still went on with the trip, still went on with the planned trip. And there were netizens also unhappy, saying that the fault might lie with the family because they didn't show enough care towards Barbie Su. Some even claiming that her younger sister, Ji Su, even posted social media uploads during the holidays showing her and her mother drinking, dancing and holidaying, despite Barbie Su still being severely unwell during that period of time. So, once again, we are not here to make light of this incident. Barbie Su is a dear celebrity that we all hold to our hearts for people near my age, my generation, and we just want to know how things might have been prevented. How did influenza lead to pneumonia and, causing a death during the holidays? So stay safe, everyone. We're in Malaysia, Johor Bahru right now, where the Johor Immigration Department arrested 18 foreign nationals for allegedly begging at night markets in Johor Bahru on February 3rd. For context, previously we covered a story in Singapore where foreign nationals were caught outside the Kuan Yin Temple at Singapore, at Waterloo Street, for begging, for asking for alms, and that was not allowed, that's illegal. And people were saying in the comments that this is a thing that is like unique to Singapore because Singapore is flourishing, so people are very generous, so a lot of these foreign nationals come over here to beg. Well, apparently not, and this is also an issue in Johor Bahru, Malaysia. The location is at Kampung Melayu, Majidi and Taman Abad. And the foreign nationals that were arrested were 4 from China, 4 from Thailand, 4 from Cambodia, 4 from Syria, 1 from Bangladesh and 1 from Pakistan. The ages were from 40 to 69. They were all foreign nationals. And these beggars allegedly could earn up to ringgit $600 daily and up to ringgit $15,000 monthly. It was also noted that some of these beggars have physical abilities which was being used to gain sympathy. They are now suspected of violating the Immigration Act 1951/63 and Immigration Regulations 1963. They are currently detained at Setia Tropika Immigration Depot for further investigation. Air Busan planes now have a new safety regulation, and that is no power banks in the overhead compartment, because on January 28, an Air Busan plane caught fire at the Gimhae International Airport in Busan. The fire started in an overhead luggage bin at the plane's tail while preparing to take off to Hong Kong. Luckily, that fire started before takeoff. All 176 passengers and crew were evacuated and 7 people received medical treatment for injuries. Okay, so because of this, there's these new safety measures, power bank restrictions. Passengers are now banned from storing power banks in overhead compartments. Carry-on bags will be inspected at boarding gate for power banks. Bags without power banks will receive a special tag for storage in overhead bins. Power banks must be kept on passengers for quick response in case of issues like overheating or fire. This policy will start as a trial on select routes from February 7, expanding later to all flights. Air Busan also indicates that they are enhancing crew training for all fire scenarios, and fire containment equipment will be added to planes. And according to the CAAS, Civil Aviation Authority of Singapore, power banks must be carried by hand on board in Singapore. So anything to promote better aviation safety, I think it comes a point in time where we should just not allow any more power banks on flight. If you were going to somewhere for overseas for a holiday, buy a new power bank there. And you were leaving, why not just leave the power bank, pay it forward, leave it at the reception for the next guest to use maybe? Or maybe you don't even need a new power bank at your new holiday destination. What happened to being more mindful, learning to charge your mobile devices early before you sleep so that you have a full 100% battery for the next day, and being mindful of your mobile device usage so you can enjoy more of your holidays and less screen time? Back home in Singapore, a passenger found a backpack on bus number 58 operated by SBS Transit, which travels between Bishan and Pasir Ris interchange. The passenger passed the bag to bus captain Chen Long, who was handed the backpack, and he immediately reported it to the Operations Control Center, and surprise, the backpack's owner had already reported it missing 25 minutes before Chen reported finding it. After his shift, Chen personally took the backpack to Bishan interchange, where the staff found $14,000 inside. Wow. How could you have $14,000 inside a backpack and forget the backpack? That is really amazing and shocking, okay? The owner, who intended to use the money to open a bank account, was contacted and came to reclaim her backpack about 30 minutes later. She was immensely grateful and relieved for Chen's honesty and service, and SBS praised Chen Long for his integrity and service, highlighting his actions as an example of their cares culture. But don't forget, another hero is the passenger that found the backpack. And for our final last story of the day, Singapore actor Laurence lost $35,000 in a love scam. You may remember this story. We now finally realize his supposedly girlfriend, where did she get those images from? Because he claims that his girlfriend looks very different on FaceTime during video calls compared to the photos. It was found then and now that she was using doctored images of Vanessa Ho, and Vanessa Ho is a former Star Search 2019 finalist. She discovered her images were used in the scam by her friends, and then she initially accused the original publication, a news outlet, of editing her photos for their story. It is now known that it was not purposely edited, but it was actually done by the scammers themselves. I mean, this is really shocking. If you have been scrolling through social media, YouTube, you might have seen, photo editing ads, software AI ads, where you can replace the face of any video pictures with your own face. Yes. Can you imagine your own face on any other picture, model, film that you so desire? So scams are really even so tech savvy right now. Have you even heard the story of the woman who lost all her life savings supposedly to Brad Pitt? Yes, now scammers are even able to doctor their face into video calls. This is really a scary world to live in.